After 5 years and 2 spinoffs, we finally have the sequel to the Lego Movie. That means today we're going to stop and rank all 4 theatrically released Lego movies from the worst to the best. Hi, if you're new here, my name is SeanChandler, and I started this channel essentially because I was driving everyone around me crazy talking about movies way too much. If you can relate, you're probably in the right place, and consider clicking that subscribe button. With that in mind, also join me down below in the comments section. Share your ranking of the Lego movies. Which ones do you love, which ones do you hate, and everything in between. Also, before we get started, if you're interested in buying one of these I Talk Movies Too Much shirts, they are available in my merch store. The link is down below in the description. Most of the nerdy and novelty shirts that I wear in my videos, I purchased over on TeePublic. They are available in my merch store. They've also got a whole bunch of Lego t-shirts on there. So if you're interested, check that link down below and let's get started. Coming in last place is the Lego Ninjago movie. Now for me, this is a very odd film. It's never particularly boring. It's also never particularly good. It's based off a TV show that's still airing, but it's not really in continuity. It focuses on one character instead of the team, and it changes up the mythology a whole lot. It still has all the energy of the other films in the franchise, and it has some of the wit of those films, but it feels an awful lot like they're trying to take the Lego Ninjago show and cram it through the Lego movie mold, and the pieces just don't fit together. And a big part of that is that the movie plays daddy issues, neglect, parental abandonment, both for laughs as well as the emotional core of the film, which is a really weird, confusing, and complex thing to do in a movie whose target audience is my 6-year-old son. There's no shortage of fun, it's very quick moving, but the story and the themes just aren't up to par with the rest of the franchise. In third place is the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Our second adventure with Emmett has all the chaotic energy and humor of the first film, but it feels a little bit like they're trying too hard to recapture the freshness of the original film just by going bigger and more ambitious with the story and the themes, and the end result is a bit mixed for me. The characters, new and old, are just as fun and charming as they were in the first film, and the humor has the same witty edge. It also finds a new way to explore the way different family members play and interact with Legos. The movie doubles down on the meta aspects of the franchise. It cracks jokes at the expense of the careers of the voice talent, specifically Chris Pratt, and it also goes much deeper into the real world segments of the film. But the story and the themes start to get very convoluted and contrived by the end of the film. The pieces just don't fit together when you have all these big plot lines, subplots, themes, real world segments. It just doesn't make a lot of sense as you're going along towards the end. To be clear, this film is still a lot of fun. It's got a bunch of heartfelt moments, but the master builders behind this film couldn't quite put together a film that matched the quality of the original or their own ambitions. Our runner-up is the Lego Batman movie. They took the humor, the style, the energy of the Lego movie and applied it to Batman, and the end result is a film that is a great follow-up to the Lego movie and also a very interesting and respectful addition to the Batman canon. At the core of what makes this movie work is that the writers understand the character of Batman as well as his place in pop culture, and they're having fun with all of it. It's both a love letter and a satire to the Batman character. And because they understand the character, they're able to pull out the emotions of the character in these themes about friendship and abandonment and make a film that is very funny, it's a lot of fun, has great action sequences, but also has a very strong emotional core that has a very clear focus and theme as you go throughout the film. But it's also a Lego movie, and this frees them to go bonkers wild with the number of franchises that get pulled into the mix, the little cameos that happen inside of this Batman film that makes for a very unique experience, because you couldn't do this in a live action Batman film. You couldn't really even do it in a normal animated Batman film, but in the Lego universe, it fits, it makes sense, and it ties all of it together. As great as this film is, it's also very exhausting for me because it is so chaotic by the third act of this film, so it doesn't quite make it to first place. But coming in first place is the Lego Movie. This is one of the freshest, most original, and creative animated films of the last 10 years, and what makes it work is that the creative creators understand how people interact with Legos. As much as this is a crazy story that works in Star Wars, Batman, and countless other franchises, at the core of it, it's telling a very personal story about a father and son and the different ways they interact with Legos. When this movie first came out, my son was too young to play with Legos, but here we are 5 years later, and every time I build something for him, I want to glue it together so that he can't take it apart. It's easy to forget just how unique this film was when it first came out, because in the 5 years since, we've had multiple movies try to copy its ADD storytelling, its meta humor, its hyperactive energy, but when this came out, it was kind of groundbreaking as this fresh, new experience. And so much of what makes this film work is the voice talent. This is really Chris Pratt's breakthrough lead performance. This is a film with a razor-sharp sense of humor, an understanding of its audience and its subject matter, real heartfelt emotions, and a truly distinct style, so it comes in at number 1. If you enjoyed this video, check out that playlist right over there of my ranking of some other top animated franchises. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.